Oh, YouTube, I've missed you. I've been away. I went to C2E2 and had a weekend full of comics and booze and malort and booze and friends and places and things and malort. And I had some comics. So, I figured, what the heck? I'm going to review a comic book now because I'm burned out on comics. I'm not, but, whatever. I'm going to review this. Scalped Volume 1 by Jason Aaron and R.M. Guera, with lettering by Lee Lowridge. Nope, lettering by Phil Balsman and coloring by Lee Lowridge. This collects the first 5 issues of Scalped, which came out in 2007. Stay tuned to the end of the video to find out how to win this, because I'm going to give it away. Today is December 14th, 2021, when you're seeing this video. I'm going to give it away on the December 21st, 2021. It'll be a Christmas gift for somebody. So stay tuned. I'll let you know how to win. And yeah, let's get into this. This collects the first 5 issues of the comic. It came out in 2007. And it stars, or it's about Dashiell, a.k.a. Dash, Bad Horse. Native American who left home at 13, left the reservation, and is now back. And starting shenanigans and stuffing things. It's at a fictional location in the Dakotas, and he runs afoul, sort of the tribal leader, Lincoln Red Crow, basically by picking a fight with every other person he comes across on the reservation and getting his ass kicked or kicking ass until he gets the attention of Red Crow, and that leads this is spoilery. This leads to him becoming the sheriff, or working under the sheriff's office. Technically, Red Crow is the tribal leader, the sheriff, the mob boss, everything else. He's dirty, and they make that known right away. So Dash works for him and starts kicking ass and busting drug dens and getting rid of competition and all sorts of things and stuff and whatnot. And I'm not getting into spoilers on the plot as a whole, but that's kind of the start of this book. There are twists and turns. There's reveals. There's betrayals. There's relationships. Dash's mom is in it, and they're estranged, and there's an estranged ex-girlfriend, because what kind of book would it be without an estranged ex-girlfriend? Or technically not really girlfriend, they were 12 when whatever, doesn't matter. Estranged. And yeah, so this is Dash's journey back on the reservation, and you learn the motivations for why he's back. And you learn what Red Crow is kind of up to. Red Crow is a notorious, is an evil character, mostly. I mean, he's selfish, and he's, wants to take out the competition, and he's a tribe boss, like I said, and all that. But you're not entirely clear as to whether or not he has at least some of the tribe's best interests at heart. He's trying to form a casino, which is on the verge of opening, and he used to be a protester, and that's how he met Dash's mom when they were a protester, and now Dash's mom is still protesting, and Red Crow's on the other side of things, and there's clashes. And so that's part of this, and there's a lot of intertribal dynamics and a lot of ass kicking and a lot of sex and a lot of nudity and a lot of noirish elements. This is basically a crime noir set on a reservation, and the R.M. Guera's art is kind of gritty and dark and sort of fits this. The color by Lee Lowridge really helps too. It is a moody, flat color throughout this book. Well, I mean, there's gradients and stuff, but it is not a brightly colored book. It helps that this version is printed on uncoated stock. I don't know if all the prints of this are, but this is not quite newsprint, but it feels, well, maybe it is actually newsprint. It feels newsprinty. It feels pulpy, which adds to this, I think. And because it's not a pleasant story necessarily, but it is sort of like a tough as nails, story, which Jason Aaron's written several of these. He also wrote Southern Bastards, which I've read some of, which has got a similar flavor to this. Like, a long strange stranger comes home, or someone comes back to home and starts kicking ass. And they both books pretty much start the same way. Now that I think about it, this came first, and this has, I believe, been optioned, because every damn book has been optioned. And yeah, this feels like it would make a really good, honestly good TV series. It would, and I've read all of this. It's only the first 5 issues. It's a 60-issue series, so maybe it doesn't all the way through, but this chunk of it feels like it would be at least the start of a good TV series. Something like AMC or Showtime or HBO, something, where they could handle the mature elements of this and the violence and all that. I think it plays out like that. And the single issues that are broken up, well, the issues that are broken up in here feel like episodic in nature as far as that goes. There's a lot of timey-wiminess. It'll like, oh, next week, or 10 days ago, 3 days ago, 48 hours ago. And Jason Aaron plays a lot with time as a framing device in here and as a storytelling device. Like there's flashbacks to when he was a kid. There's when Dash was a kid. There's flashbacks to Dash's mom in her youth. There's flashbacks to Red Crow and to Red Crow's youth and Red Crow's daughter, who's a character in here. And then there's also like, oh, and then there's things like, oh, 10 days ago, 7 days ago, 3 days ago, 12 hours ago. There's a lot of that kind of device used in here, which I think would lend itself well to TV series. It would get old if they did it every episode of the series, and it does get a little old in here as far as that goes. It sometimes would. I think it would be a little bit nicer if some of this is a little more straightforwardly told narratively. But I understand why Aaron did it. It's because there's reveals that happen in here that kind of would get a little bit spoiled if the narrative was told straightforwardishness. Words are hard, people. Words are just really hard. Did I mention I was at Comic-Con all weekend? My brain's fried. But yeah, on the whole, R.M. Guera's art, mostly effective. There are some panels where I had to go back where I'm like, what in the heck's going on? It's a little bit like some of the grittiness and some of the characters do tend to like look very similar, and there's a lot of tight close-up shots where like there is some struggle learning who's who, and you have to rely on the dialogue and other contextual elements to realize who's being talked about or who the character drawn is, and there's not always super distinct as to which character is which, and like minor characters get shoved into the foreground, which makes them think they're major just because of the placement of things. So you're a little bit lost sometimes, but it's not overwhelming. Like you can usually pretty quickly figure out who the character is in the panel and what their thing is, it is somewhat dynamic as far as the poses and stuff. The fight scenes also get a little bit confusing. It's not Guera's a solid artist and has a solid mastery of the figure and stuff, and a solid mastery of anatomy and some dynamic kind of camera angles. But the fight scenes are not his strength. Really, they're really not. That said, I do think it's an effective artist, and like it does capture this sort of moodiness and the nature of the book on a set on like very fiscally poor reservation, with a lot of downtrodden folks and a lot of struggling folks. That he does very well as in the drawings. And Aaron's storytelling also is pretty effective, and it feels like it could be a real environment. I mean, there's some fantastic, not fantasy elements, but fantastical elements where wouldn't really truly be believable in real life. However, there's nothing like fantasy or sci-fi as part of it. It's a story that could technically be real, and I enjoyed this quite a bit. I liked it more than I thought I would. I figured a 2007 book. I'm like, well, that's kind of 14 years old, and I thought it would have some problems. There's a few in here and stuff, but on the whole, I thought it was a pretty well done, pretty solid first 5 issues. The first issue in here does a really good job of grabbing you and like hooking you, which is great. And then the other 4 fill in some things, and then there's a nice hook at the end too. You're like, oh, I need to read it. Now I need to find the rest and figure out what happens, because there is a cliffhanger, or not a cliffhanger necessarily, but just something that happens at the end of this 5th issue where you're like, well, that's going to affect things. So yeah, I enjoyed it. I recommend it, and somebody can win this. And so I'm going to keep this one kind of short and sweet. I rambled a bit. It's what I do, folks. I do these rambling reviews. Maybe I should change my channel to Taylor's Rambling Reviews. It doesn't really roll off the tongue. I don't know. Whatever. But in order to win this, Scalped Volume 1 Indian Country, it's a couple things. Please like this video. Please be subscribed to my channel. Please hit the notification bell so you know when these drop, and you know if and when you win this, because I'm going to announce the winner on the 21st, and if you win it, you have to watch that next video to figure it out. I'm not going to notify the winner. That's part of this. You have to keep watching this stuff, folks. That's how I get this. It's content driven. It's the machine. But yeah, anyways, those are the first steps, and then the last step is leave a comment down below in the comment section, letting me know what comic you think would make a good TV series or good movie. Something that's not already been one. But just let me know in the comments what you think would be translate well to either the small or the big screen. And yeah, I'll pick a winner from there. And you got to be a U.S. resident. I'm not shipping this overseas, or I'm not shipping this anywhere else, just because financially it's not worth it. Like, you could probably buy this trade paperback for less than it would cost to ship, like, to you. So I'll ship it to the U.S. and yeah, hopefully someone gets some enjoyment out of it, and we'll go from there. But yeah, that's kind of about it on this one. If you like this, if you like what I ramble on about and you want to support the channel, you can get something like Rig t-shirts or It's Fine hats from my website at taylorwinder.com. That's also going to be linked in the description down below. Because I am nothing if not a money-grubbing... No, I'm not. I mean, it does help. I can keep buying new trade paperbacks, and I can keep giving them away, and I can keep making videos, all the fun stuff. So yeah, if you like what I do and you want to help out, that's a way you can help out. I appreciate you watching. Thanks as always, and yeah, don't be a dick, even if you're returning home after leaving as an estranged child many years ago. Just don't be a dick about it. Yeah, all right. That was not my finest don't be a dickery, but it is what it is. See ya.